Seen the Dow Jones drop over 4,000 points since the beginning of the year. And while the Dow goes down, gas prices keep going up.
Gas prices hit a new record high nationwide this morning. The national average, $4.37 a gallon. That is after prices peaked in March during Russia's invasion into Ukraine. The U.S. pursued extraordinary measures at the time, releasing oil, emergency amounts and record amounts of oil from our strategic petroleum reserves. That sent prices lower for a time, but now they are back climbing, with the key driver of gasoline prices, oil, also climbing now back above $100 a barrel. And as Michael says, this has sent the stock market tumbling. In the last couple of days, we've seen dramatic shifts in investor sentiment and volatility. You've seen the S&P 500 down about 3%. And so far this year, Michael, we've seen stocks, the S&P 500, which is the thing in most people's retirement savings accounts, down now almost 17%.
America are hurting because of inflation. I understand what it feels like. I come from a family where when the price of gas and food went up, we felt it. It was a discussion at the kitchen table. I want every American to know that I'm taking inflation very seriously, and it's my top domestic priority.
Stearns was in a death spiral, and the Fed brokered its sale.
The worst financial crisis in modern times, certainly the largest financial disaster in decades in this country, and perhaps the end of an era in American history.
This year of 2022 is turning out to be a true year of transition. Since they declared that the pandemic was over, there has been no letting up of negative news. In February, the war in Ukraine began, which prompted the beginning of challenge to the current world order. And right after this, the Fed followed through with this planned rate hike that they continued this month in May, trying to slow down the economy. Through all of this, we have been experiencing higher inflation on everything since last year. But it's now becoming more noticeable as gas prices reach record highs and food is costing more than ever. We have President Biden making speeches blaming everyone he can for inflation, from Putin to COVID to supply chain issues, etc.
I want us to be crystal clear about the problem. There are two leading causes of inflation we're seeing today. The first cause of inflation is a once-in-a-century pandemic. And this year we have a second cause. Mr. Putin's war in Ukraine.
He completely ignored the fact that his policies and Trump's and Obama's of money printing and borrowing of debt is actually the main reason for the inflation that we are experiencing. I watched him speak on Tuesday, and he said a whole lot while not really saying anything at all. They just used him at the platform saying a lot of words and added subtle mind control, putting two phrases in back of him, which would speak to the subconscious of all his loyal mind-controlled subjects. They said, Biden is tackling inflation and lowering cost. I mean, if you really understand how their mind control works, that is such manipulation, because he isn't doing anything of the sort. During these times, as I speak with random people and I listen to how they feel about these times that we're in, I have found that reality still has not caught up with most. And while they see that bad things are happening, like the market is going down and inflation is really up, their tap on reality is still not there. They are just sitting with ignorant, blind optimism that tells them what they are going to do is wait things out and get back to their lives when things actually get better. Get a look at this clip.
So as you just seen,
on May 11th, 2022, following the Joshan weird phenomenon a few days ago, the red sky appears again in Maui, Fujian. The red night sky was recorded around 7:40 p.m. People recorded the skies turning crimson red from their houses, balconies, and streets. Many people around are curious about what happened to the sky. This should have nothing to do with the lights of Joshan fishing boats because it is too far away, and the clouds are abnormal during the day. However, local media reports say the reason behind the mysterious red sky is the refraction and scattering of light from the fishing boat that was harvesting Pacific sorry. Plus, the reddest sky is near the port.
You mean not an accident? Who is this guy singing? And who am I, a conspiracy fly? Did you know NASA means deceived in Hebrew? The Denver airport was built by the Illuminati. It's fly on the wall.buzz/truth. First reconfigure your DNS server, then download a VPN and get the Tor browser. It's too much work.
You all have heard that Elon Musk said that with AI, we're summoning the demon. So let me tell you about what it's like. Every day, my husband starts the day by saying, "Good luck summoning the demon today, hun. Have a good day." So I'll tell you a little bit what it's like. This is what people think I do. This is what I really do. So this is where we are, and a great example of where we are with AI in its infancy. But kids do grow up fast. And that's also important for us to realize is while we're sitting here laughing about AI and the state and the fact that we can't detect shit, it's going to come up fast. And one example of that is if you saw Lisa Dahl, who played Grandmaster in Go, and he was just beaten 4-1. Musk and Hawking, who our supercomputer is nigh, and the robots are going to kill us. Right? I'm actually here to recruit you today. I'm going to recruit you to who I'm going to call Team Stockdale. So,
as you get in a dictatorship, Shanghai officials have gone really hardcore to please the boss. They've been walling off building complexes. If a building has even one infection, in some cases, everyone inside could be shipped off to quarantine camps that are built in sports grounds, for instance. People who fight back face extraordinary treatment. And now, some areas of Shanghai have even been told no deliveries at all, not even of food, for 2 or 3 days. And any delivery men following orders can get beaten. One truck got stopped by a man begging for food and then crying when given bananas and crackers. There are also video circuits, in fact, that a couple of workers test positive. Hundreds of colleagues fled to avoid getting locked up. In some areas, the frustration has led to angry protests.
Says this: the John Birch Society considers communism only one arm of a master conspiracy in which socialist American insiders are plotting to establish world government. Now, he also says, and here's Director John McManus, that's your public relations director, saying that former Secretary of State Alexander Haig and CIA Director William Casey are two of these master conspirators who are plotting to establish world government. Now, what do you say? That kind of silly, asinine statement is what makes people laugh at the John Birch Society.
Well, Tom, I'm sure being a long-standing member of the Rockefeller apparatus, and as a member of the Council on Foreign Relations of longstanding, you're fully aware that there is an elitist core in this country that has some value in subsidizing communism, protecting communism.
It has?
Sure.
You're accusing me of subsidizing communism?
No, I'm saying there is an elite core. Wait a minute. There is an elite core in this country that has dominated American society.
Well, I'm not one of them.
The Trilateral Commission, Council on Foreign Relations. Well, let's face it, they've dominated the State Department for 40 years, and pretty much openly. Right, but what are they trying to do? Well, their objective is to try to bring about a gradual transition in our society, a dissolving of sovereignty, and a moving steadily to the left on the political spectrum. Who are they?
In the sky a few days ago in Zhoushan, Zhejiang province, now comes the reddening of the river in Baise, Guangxi province. According
Nah, it's underground, and Asher's loving the vibe. It's a futuristic movie, so we need an eccentric tech billionaire. Here he is with his, It's my cloud. Right, sure. The man turns around, and Asher is shook.
You're Aaron Keene,
The owner of Vessel Computers. As Asha gushes over her husband's unexpected client, she proudly mentions her own company, Cobalt. They specialize in robotic limbs and are slowly catching up to Vessel.
No, you're not.
Well, goddamn. Though, the man is just stating facts. He directs them over to his latest invention, STEM.
That is the most incredible little roach.
A roach that can do anything, apparently. Drive anything, talk to anything, calculate anything.
It's a new, better brain.
Oh, great. I've been needing an upgrade.
Earthquake and the sleeping giant is going to open up the sleeping giant and something will pop out. We're talking about creatures known as stalkers. Right here on the right hand side.
Crowd talking about the alien agenda secretively. Okay. Back in 1954, I'll give you a quick overview. There was the created 1954 treaty where Eisenhower signed a pact with the known alien species of the time. There were 3 at the time. And said that we're going to deal in high technology, but you can take a few head of cattle and a few human beings and you can experiment on them. It's unthinkable. Stuff straight out of the Nazi death camps, and I'm kidding you not. It's plain BS, and it's got to stop. Now, the created 1954 treaty had been violated. After the great firefight, the alien-human war, I am the only living survivor talking about it worldwide at all. Only one. The other 2 are in nursing homes in Canada, and the Canadian government refuses to allow any U.S. people, including myself, to talk to them because they are afraid of kidnapping. Probably the reason I got shot to pieces and 11 attempts on my life is I am a direct threat to the entire system. The New World Order, the alien agenda is one and the same. It's world takeover and the decimation of the population of this planet. Now, I'm going to tell you something a little bit different about the alien species. The bad news ones, there are 9 races of alien populations. To look at a human being as a bag of food. They're not cannibals. They don't eat the flesh and the bones and all that kind of stuff. They use the glandular secretions of animals and human beings as a mixture of the vitamins for their food. They get high off of our adrenal gland substances called adrenal chrome. It's something like cocaine to them. Now, what can we do about it? Right now, if we do nothing, we can do nothing about it, and it'll continue to go on. Basically, we'll be led in the dark, and you'll keep seeing more and more people disappear. Right now, there's 100,000 children totally unaccountable through FBI archives, cannot be traced anywhere. They haven't been murdered. Nobody's ever seen them. I think they're hauled underneath in some of these bases, and they are summarily done away with, and they are literally eaten. Now, that is a scary thing indeed. And I'm not asking you to believe me in toto. I am asking you to seriously do enough homework that you can go out in through the public record, through the congressional records, find out who's voting for what, and go from there. Do your own program.
do your own agenda and do your own speaking out. And if enough of us do this, there is some saving grace.